Okay, we're going to get the blower removed the first thing here this morning, and then we're going to replace these wiper arms on the front, the windshield wipers. We're going to take the arms off and replace the wiper motors, sorry. So we're going to get right into this. We've got to start by draining the coolant and then get ready to take the blower off. I'd say we should change the coolant. There's been some green added to it at some point, that there's a green color to it, but for the most part, it looks like beer. Or piss.
I can get it. Same thing as piss.
Got the coolant out, removing some coolant pipes on here, exhaust pipes out of the way. He's going to remove the fuel control rods, so the ones that run into the governor that go to the rack. He's got to pull those out of here. Just a couple pins you got to pull out, and it's pretty easy to get them out. And we just have a couple fuel lines to disconnect that go to the fuel pump, because the fuel pump mounts right on the blower. So just disconnect these fuel lines, and then a couple more fittings in the back. There's a oil feed line, and then the rubber boot that goes around the drive shaft for the blower needs to come out. That would have lost a lot of air that it needed to work through there. That fitting broke off completely. But that's the air in one, so that's yeah.
So it's in an exhaust, so that you're right.
Yeah, the new one's metal there. So I've never seen those plastic like that before, and I think that's a bad idea. You can see all the oil down in the blower here and how wet everything is, and the leading edges of these the lobes on the blower are in pretty bad shape too. They're very scored up quite a bit. They've been some dirt and stuff going through them, so the tolerances are definitely going to be off a little bit on here. It should just, when we start to pull the blower this way, it should just disconnect, I think, now that you got it loose. So we'll just take out the 8 bolts and I think it's ready. We had one little extra step. We had to remove this alternator belt. There's a small 12-volt alternator on here. So this bus is 24 volts, but the house systems are 12 volt. So it has the big 24-volt alternator on the back of the engine, and then there's a small 12-volt one mounted up here, but the belt is on the outside here. So in order to remove the belt behind it, we had to take the alternator belt off. So it took an extra few minutes to do that, and then we were able to drop the belt down so we have room to get the blower out. But that's a nice thing you can do on an MCI, is make a mount like that and have an extra little alternator up there. That's a custom coach thing. I think custom coaches that on all their MCIs. Bunch of oil pouring out of it. Special thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. You can get safe online with just one click with NordVPN. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro protects you from malware, phishing, scams, and other online threats. Threat Protection Pro also protects you from many types of online trackers. Do you value your privacy while you're surfing the internet like I do? Then check out our special offer from NordVPN. Click our link below in the description to nordvpn.com/bgmonkey. You can get NordVPN 2-year plan plus 4 months extra, and it's risk-free with their 30-day money-back guarantee. Don't forget, make sure you never miss your favorite shows when you're traveling abroad with NordVPN. Become safer online with just one click with NordVPN, the fastest VPN on the planet. Now that we got the blower off, we can look down here in the air box and take a look at the pistons. The sides of the pistons all look real good. The rings look good. I don't see any kind of weird wear. You know, the pistons look really, really good. That's nice that you can see the side of them. They're not all scored up and scratched up and everything. Yeah, everything looks good in here, other than it's extra oily and a little extra carbon and dirt in here than normal. But yeah, it all looks good. You can see that bolt that was missing is laying on top of that screen there in the back left-hand corner there. And then you can see all the oil that the blower was slinging up on there too. Yeah, we had that blower off right before 11 o'clock in the morning. We didn't start until 9, and we were doing some other things in the morning as well. So about an hour and a half, we had that blower off, and then spent some time cleaning up some stuff. The new one should be here before the end of the week. Again, we paid $900 to get a reman one, and then $500 for the core that we'll have to send back. And I took some measurements on that. I think the core is going to be good still. So this engine is considered naturally aspirated with this blower. It's not a supercharger. If you mount that on an engine that already is bringing in its own air and removing it, then it would be a supercharger. But on this application, the engine will not run without that blower. It's scavenging air. It's basically about 1 atmosphere, so it's pretty close to it. So you're not getting a huge advantage by having the blower. Like I said, the engine will not run at all without it. So even with that blower, it's still only considered naturally aspirated. And then if you add, a lot of them have turbos on top of the blower. The other MCI over there is a turbo. So that one has a turbo as well as a blower. But again, this bus, no turbo, so it's just naturally aspirated. That's the drive shaft for the blower, so that's what spins it, those tiny little splines in there. Some people call it a dog bone, because it kind of looks like a dog bone. But yeah, that's what drives the blower. We're going to replace these wiper motors. We're going to have to send the old ones back in as a core. But yeah, you just take off that one little bolt there, and then there's 4 mounting bolts that hold it on the back side here. And then just make sure you have it in the right position so the arm will go back and forth in the right way. But it's pretty easy to get these things on there. Getting them out was the hard part, but just a few fittings to swap around. This old one, unfortunately, was made out of plastic here, and I guess over time it just got brittle and all the air fittings cracked, and it was leaking air, but that's probably why it wasn't working. The actual condition of the motor itself is probably good, but he had already bought these and, ready to go.
coming in a cooler, and it should be here by Friday, hopefully.
FedEx comes early in the day here.
Okay.
UPS comes at the end of the day, like 7 p.m.
Go back in there a little bit more. That's a gold screw.
It's too short. Maybe it's longer. There we go. tight until they're all in.
Mm-hmm.
You got the thing on?
Yeah, but it's hitting that big air supply line. There we go. The main air line to the air pressure gauge on the dash was in the way.
I put some anti-seize in this little spanner nut. I want to make sure this comes off easy next time. We definitely fought him a little bit. Make sure you got it way over where it belongs. Just gotta push against it, but I think you're a little bit too far. You're gonna hit the rubber there. There you go. And then just.
Let him handle it.
There you go.
Perfect.
This little part broke off where there's a set screw that goes through there. So somebody had drilled it out already, and then we put a cotter pin through it to hold it. And then we ended up breaking the one on the other side exactly like this one. We're gonna do the same thing. All right, Bo's been busy scraping the gaskets off of these end plates here and then getting everything cleaned up for the blower. This one as well, got the gasket scraped off there. I can do a little bit of cleaning on it now. That's the little buffer right there when you set it. So when it goes right up against that little spring. You gotta be careful this doesn't fall out of here. And I don't know if it will on this Jake brake one, but on the other versions of this, that if you flop this thing on its side and that goes, that pin can fall out of there. Scraping the gaskets off of here, he got a little crap down in there. We're gonna get that all cleaned out real well. We don't want to leave that down in there at all. But there's the inside of your governor, and there's the governor weights on there. Well, we got a lot done on the bus today, so that's all good stuff. Getting things cleaned up and ready for when the new parts come in. We're gonna be mostly waiting on parts for a couple days.
See him loading up his tools, check the air and all those duels. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Well, he's got a long hard ride in old Lenny the Silver Sides. Get that bus grease monkey on the road. Well, he's got that hammer down and that 47 Hound. It's that bus grease monkey on the road. He travels all around and he's coming to your town. Get that bus grease monkey down the road. With the propped up engine door, watch that bus grease monkey do his thing. 30 years behind that barn, 'cause it don't run worth a darn. Watch that bus grease monkey make it sing. He knows in Detroit there's no doubt, upside down and inside out. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Saving buses far and wide in that old blue silver sides. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Now he's moved his family to the hills of Tennessee. Watch that bus grease monkey make his home, bringing buses back to life with the help of his dear wife. Watch that bus grease monkey get it done. Well, he travels town to town working on them old greyhounds. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Saving buses far and wide in old Lenny the Silver Sides. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know?